But now we got to get to the red meat. You represent the family of Rachel Morin. She is exactly the storybook mom that we want to protect in our society. Raising 5 kids, doing everything right, obviously gorgeous. She was a symbol of what we want in this country, stolen by exactly what we do not want in this country. How does the family process this situation?
Well, right now they're relieved, obviously, because of the fact that they've caught this guy, they've got the suspect in custody. They're also a little happy. Now, despite the fact that it's been 10 months of just agony and waiting and not knowing if this guy would ever be caught. So there is relief. There's a little bit of happiness. But now they've got to go through the process of the prosecution, which is going to be tough for them because he's going to come back to Maryland. He's going to be arraigned. He's going to have to appear for motions and hearings. And depending on if he takes a plea, if he goes to trial, it's just going to be a tough road for the family to hear the details and the facts of what this suspect did to their daughter, their sibling. It's just tough.
Randolph, what does the connective tissue, the correlation between what happened with Ms. Moran, what we've seen with Laken Riley, what we now just saw with this kid, what is the common thread that the family wants people to see?
Well, I can tell you this. We are hemorrhaging at the southern border, and Washington is fighting over what color tourniquet to put on this problem. And until they figure this out, we're going to have more Rachel Morins, and we've got to stop this. Americans are dying. It's not a Democrat problem. It's not a Republican problem. It's an American problem. Until they figure out how to stop this. And in this case, a criminal who we know committed a crime, murdered a woman in El Salvador, comes across the border and wreaks havoc in America. I mean, Chris, you know what they're doing in El Salvador over the past 2 years. They're locking up gang members. This man is a gang member. He fled the problems there and ultimately came in here and caused the problems in America.
Yeah. I mean, look, MS-13's been running all over us for a long time. Fentanyl has been the best thing that's ever happened to the illicit gang and drug trade in history. And we just don't want to deal with it, except once in a while when it kills somebody we care about for 5 minutes. Now, John, let me betray reality without betraying the source. So I know a lot of men and women on the job in New York, obviously NYPD and extended authorities. When I talk to them about this issue, they're like, come on, man. You really think that I have time when we're making these busts? I can't even get prosecutors to prosecute cases here on my own turf. And now I'm supposed to be dealing with ICE. Half the time they don't answer your calls. They don't have the resources. That's where the sanctuary cities came from in the first place, because we had to figure out how to deal with it because the feds didn't have the resources to deal with it. And even Laken Riley's, the assailant in that case, the idea that we're going to coordinate with ICE and get them picked up, that it sounds good, but it's really hard to do in practice. Do you agree? And if so, why?
Well, it is hard to do in practice. And look, there are resource constraints at ICE. And certainly there have been cases, when I was at ICE and after I left, where ICE failed to respond in time, right? Where the blame is on ICE. Now, in New York, it gets a little more complicated, of course, because of the sanctuary policy. And I'm in favor of, letting state and local law enforcement decide when interacting with ICE impairs their ability to do their job. But look, the bottom line is you just can't ask ICE to do its core function, which is protect public safety, when their hands are so tied with the situation at the border. And I'm not saying ICE doesn't make mistakes from time to time. They absolutely do. And I'm not saying that ICE would have even necessarily reacted in this case. But what I am saying here is that when their hands are so overwhelmed at the border, that they just lack the ability to get after that core mission. Look, Chris, one thing just to understand really quickly is that the work that ICE needs to be doing, the public safety work, is finding at-large gang members who have entered this country illicitly. That's hard work. It's slow work. Too often we look at ICE and we say, hey, how many people did you arrest? How many people did you deport? The quantity instead of looking at the quality. But that quality work is slow work and it's resource dependent. And again, just in this current environment they're in, they just don't have a chance to do it.
Can this be done unilaterally by the executive, or does it have to be legislative, John? You did the job.
Yeah, we're going to see. Look, I mean, ultimately it has to be legislative, right? Because ICE needs money to fly airplanes back to El Salvador, back to Guatemala.
Why can't the president just emergency close the border under the Immigration Naturalization Act right now and say it's an emergency, have to shut it down, period, no threshold, no 2,500, zero, until we catch up with the processing problems, and then turn around to Congress and say, Now give me the resources because I can't do it unless I play funny money by taking from one agency and giving to another, and that's kind of violative of the constitutional process of the power of the
Yeah.
purse.
I mean, look, I got to tell you, Chris, we'll find out, right? I understand what you're saying. He's still allowing the 2,500 and the kind of caps and everything else. And you still have other programs that are, that the president is allowing people to make these asylum claims. But I mean, he's going to face the ACLU has already announced they're challenging the president's order. We'll see what the courts will allow.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.